this semester, we are going to look at several aspects of physical education, and in particular, we're going to look at the athletic track. Within the athletic track, what shall we focus on? We'll focus on several aspects. One, sprinting. We'll look at relays. We'll look at middle and long distance running, and then we'll progress to hurdling and cross country running. During also this very course module, we'll look at the safety concerns of all these different types of athletic dimensions. And then we'll also have the lecture on how do you take care of athletic arena or track, how do you construct it, how do you design it. So look forward to your excellent enjoyment of this lesson. But in particular today, or in this particular lecture, we are going to look at techniques of sprinting. Now, what do we mean by sprinting? Now, sprinting is referring to running over a short distance at topmost speed in a limited time period. So the chief distances that we put into this category are 100, 200, and 400 meters. Those are the typical events that are competed on a world scene or at a country level or within schools. Now, during all these runnings, that is 100, 200, and 400 meters, the runner shall always maintain his lane. The moment a runner crosses from one lane to the other, then the runner will be cancelled out of the game. Now, when training sprinting, we are going to learn that sprinting has 5 areas. 1 is starting, 2 is acceleration, 3 is the drive phase, 4 is the recovery, and the 5 is the deacceleration. Let's start with the first one, the start or starting. Now, when a runner is starting a sprint, you go into what we call a 4-point stand position. What this means, all the 4 limbs, the 2 arms and the 2 legs are in contact with the ground. Now, the feet are against starting blocks, while your center of gravity is towards the leading leg, as we are going to see, and your arms are shoulder width apart. Let's take a look at this picture so to understand what we make reference. Are you seeing the legs of the runner? Let me take back that picture. You see the legs of the runner? They are against the blocks. Then the arms are shoulder width apart. Now you notice the weight, the center of gravity is towards the lead leg. You see that lead leg that is a little bit forward? The center of gravity is towards that. Now take a keen look at the chin. Take a look at the spine alignment. Now, that's the start. Now, as one moves to the second portion of the 4-point stance, in other words, the limbs are still on the ground, and when it's get on your mark, get set, the sprinters lift their hips into the air. You notice in this particular case, the hips of both legs are off the ground, and then the front leg is at 90 degrees. Are you not seeing? It's about 90 degrees. You see, when you look at the hip, that point, you see a 90 degrees there. Now, that is the next position is gotten. While the other leg is not at 90, it's about 120 degrees as compared to the front leg. Now, which leg is going to be the lead leg? Now, you, the coach, will determine with the trainer and the therapist which leg needs to be the lead leg. I mean, like myself, my lead leg is the left leg. So, and in most cases, if you can't determine the lead leg, usually, in most cases, it has been seen that the left leg usually takes center stage. Now, so once your position is set, you move into this takeoff phase that we are talking about, and then you push yourself off the blocks with both feet. Now, at this point, the forces are the horizontal forces. You remember the alignment of the body? Let's go back here. You see the alignment of the body? It is horizontal to the ground. So the takeoff should be still at that level. We are not raising ourselves vertically at this point. Now, let's go to phase 2. In phase 2, some scholars refer to it as the transition phase of your sprint. Here, the body is accelerating. It's shifting from horizontal forces, and then the person is progressively rising up to vertical forces. In other words, the sprinter is progressively moving in an upright position. Now, the key to achieve success during this phase is full leg extension for maximum force production on the ground. So this push, you need full acceleration and therefore full leg extension. So during this phase, there is an increase in the angle of the chin. It was lower, now it is increasing up. It is moving up. You can see the full leg extension we are talking about. You see the back leg, how it has fully extended. You see the runner is progressively moving to a vertical phase. But remember to stay low. Do not immediately move into a vertical position. Remember to stay low. Phase 3, top speed now, the drive. Here you are making a transition into a stride phase. You are now running into a more upright position. The head is starting to raise. Your spine is elongating. And your eyes now are locked towards the end point of your sprint. If it is 100 meters, your eyes are now looking towards the end of the 100 meters. That is that phase. Now, remember this. You need to minimize any potential braking forces or points of deceleration. You need to minimize them. That is why we are progressively moving into the vertical position as we leave the horizontal position. It's a progressive. Why? You are minimizing forces of deceleration. Phase 4, deceleration. Now, this name can be a little bit confusing. Some people imagine that because it's deceleration, that during this phase you reduce on the speed. No, that is not what it means. Yeah, during this phase, in the body, the athlete is running low on power. So he has to work hard to ward off the fatigue. During this phase, the muscles are moving away from aerobic respiration, that is production of energy with the help of oxygen, and now they are moving into a phase of anaerobic endurance, that is generating needed energy with minimal supply of oxygen. Now, what is the key secret of managing maximal force output? It is achieve high knee action and plenty of arm drive. Keep the elbows, keep the elbows at 90 degrees. So a lot of arm movement at 90 and also knee action is very, very important. Now, so as we tend towards the finish line, let's remember this. The key to the acceleration and changing direction without coming to a complete stop is to flex the ankles, flex the hips and the knees as each foot contacts the ground. That is the secret during this phase if we are going to achieve maximum output. So that closes our first unit about sprints, the techniques of sprints. And we are saying, remember, that sprints range from 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters. Let's look forward to our next lecture when we shall dive into yet another form of running. Thank you.